there's Tom unloading the car. And we're in Calais, Maine. And over my right shoulder is the St. Croix River. And on the other side of the river is New Brunswick. So tomorrow morning, right after breakfast, we'll be crossing the International Bridge into Canada. Pretty location. It never did really clear up today. Little babbling brook out in front of our cabin. There's the river again. There's Tom blinking at you. We're getting ready to go. That's where we spent the night. And that building up there is, I guess, the home of the owner and the chef and so forth. And the, let's see, 7 windows across the back, that's where the dining room is. We had an admirable dinner last night. Apparently this family's moved up from Arkansas and just bought this place. They know how to cook. And there's a little bit of the local color. That's the bridge I was just standing on.
So now that actually, on just 5 meters right there, I guess.
Yeah. This is supposed to be reversing falls. And now the ocean is to your right. And right now the tide is rising. So when the tide rises, according to the literature, the level of the ocean is about 4 meters taller or higher than the water in this gorge to your left. On the other hand, when the tide goes out, the ocean is about 5 meters lower than this gorge to your left, and you would have a waterfall flowing from left to right. Thus the name reversing falls. As you can see, the tide is coming in right now. And if we went out toward the ocean, let me dim the light a little bit. If we went out toward the ocean, you would be looking at the Bay of Fundy. And we're going to go a little further north on the Bay of Fundy. We're in St. John's, New Brunswick right now. St. John, New Brunswick. And a little further north, there's a spot where the highest tides in the world occur. And hopefully we'll stop there.
Where are the reversing falls?
Right there. They're reversing.
I don't see it. Oh, okay. Later on they'll be coming the other way.
6 hours from now, there's a 5 meter drop there, so the literature says.
Oh, okay. What, about 5:15, 5 o'clock? Yeah.
Sighting is Deception Pass up in Seattle, or north of Seattle.
Oh, that's right. You were up there.
Oh yeah.
No, it's a nice camera though. It is. I recommend it.
It was a toss-up between. I'm going to go with that Contax thing just because of the lenses.
How much is that? You don't wear.
Well, we're going to go to New York at Thanksgiving, and the body alone is $400.
Oh, and the lenses just go up from there. Yeah.
The lenses just go up there. I can get the.
Oops. Wow, whoopee! I guess that's about the best light I'm going to be able to find. This thing's really had it. So I've got to use shutter speeds in order to get the light right.
To help get a nicer road. Okay, 1 east or 100 east. Ah, 1 east then? That was a shame.
Just a little too late, but I tried to take a picture of a typical New Brunswick village with its church steeple and so forth. Anyhow, here we are, northbound on, I guess we'd say eastbound on Route 1 in New Brunswick. We're just east of St. John.
There's a pullover place.
There aren't any. Okay, now we are going through, I think it's Fundy National Park, and we're roughly southeast bound directly towards the Bay of Fundy. I'm going to increase the light a little bit. Maybe it wouldn't help here. Here we are at a lookout point, finally getting to see the Bay of Fundy. Gives you an idea, a small idea of how high the tides get.
Here's boats. Here, Dad.
Oops.
Looky here on yours, on this side.
Oh, look at this. Boats left high and dry by the tide being out. Very poor place for that banister to happen to be. Now, if you don't think the tides are a little bit severe, take a look at this. Everything just sitting on the bottom. We're in a little town of Alma, New Brunswick. I apologize. Now that I've got things in focus, I'll see if I can give you a better picture. That is amazing, isn't it?
Hello.
Whoops, pardon me. Strange thing about these boats, I suspect they're scallop boats. I'm not sure. Notice that every boat has a sort of a workstation to the left side of the cockpit. Well, not every boat, but most of them. Those two also. These down here. Most of them seem to have this sort of a chain drag thing that they drag along the bottom, and I assume these collect scallops, because looking down in the water you can see the old scallop shells. Come on, camera, catch up. Stand by and then
Yeah,
for a little while.
Now it says record.
Okay, now you push it again and it'll stop.
Mom, you said that I wouldn't take any pictures of Dad. Well, there is Father. We're in the Bay of Fundy and he's on his way to the toilet. I really thought that you'd enjoy that experience. Now, this is where we are right now. We're approaching a thing called the Rocks, which is supposed to be quite spectacular. Okay, here are the Rocks. And these are caused by tidal movements of the Fundy.
We're taking that.
Okay, Mom. There's Dad now.
I'd like to go down there. You want to sit here on the
Don't you feel like an idiot talking to
Yes.
yourself when you use those things?
Okay.
Sure, keep them in your head. These are the Rocks.
Okay. This is Tom recording, and I've come down the steps towards the Rocks. Turning into a real nice day. Okay, now I've come down all the way down the steps. And it's pretty nice. I'm worried about the sun a little bit. I'll try to give you some idea
You know the water comes right up here, buddy?
of the altitude of this place. And now it's getting all wiped out now. Let's see here. I'll try what Dad does. No. It's 250. 1,000. No change. Ah, there we go a little bit. 2,000. There we go. Just came all the way down now by the shore. And I'm sure there's a lot of wave noise in the background. So I'll try to talk up. And Cindy, if you're there, your dad always tells me that he doesn't speak up enough, so this time I'll try to talk up. It's just really, really pretty down here. I'm going to do a complete 360-degree circle. And right into the sun, of course, and there it goes there. And again, look at that now. Let's see if I can try to give you some idea of the cave formation there. All by wave power. Okay, and let's see if I can pan now to the left, and at the same time come on back. I should say to the right, come on back here. I'm not sure quite where the tide stops on the way up. I get the impression though it's about a third of the way up that cliff face. So, alright, I'm going to put this camera down and take some stills of my own. Before I leave, however, up there is Father. Now there he is. Right there. Wave, Dad. And we bring it out again. And so much for Father. Now, Mom, you should be completely satisfied you've had at least 3 pictures of Dad. And there's a real pretty girl over there on the left with her boyfriend, so I think I'll leave them alone. Get to work?
Not really. Oh, I see here.
Oh.
That's better.
I have no idea what came in.
There we go. Oh well. Let's try this speed right here. 2/50th. No, it's too bright. There. Okay, one thing I want to point out is that according to one of the charts up here, when the tide is at its highest, that's 48 feet, it is just below that little bush right there. So now if we back out and take a look at the whole thing, you get a realization or a perspective of how much we're talking about. Compare that with the size of those people down there. See, we're now in Port Torrentine. Let's see. And that's the ferry we're going to catch in a few minutes to go to Prince Edward Island. Belgium, isn't it? Yeah.
Hear what caused that?
They left the doors open.
Yeah. The guy, the officer that was supposed to, or the sailor that was supposed to close doors, fell asleep.
Oh boy. Let's see, we're on the causeway leading from the mainland out to the ferry pier. I guess that's a standby ferry. And we'll be going on that one there.
And boy, does it smell like seaweed.
Yeah. And this camera is still acting up. We're using 250th of a second and hoping that it works. Because if I take it out of let me say, if I put it into auto lock, this is what we get. That's auto lock on. So I take it off auto lock and then I go to sort of manual, I guess, and hope for the best. We're here. Shall we get out? Yeah. Like an idiot, I forgot to take the pictures as we boarded the ferry. I was sitting here watching, too interested watching what was going on to take the picture.
Idiot being the operative word.
Right.
They've got the prop turning over.
Yeah.
Holding it fast.
Okay, here we are aboard the ferry. I don't know the name of this one. There's his nibs. There's our sister ship, I guess. And here we are in a raging wind approaching Prince Edward Island. There isn't much to see but cars from here. Oh boy, it's cold. rather featureless island, Red Loam. Okay, we just got off the ferry and passed through the town of Borden, which took about a minute at reduced speed. There was one building that contained the library, the police department, and the fire department, all in one not too large building. Really not a very exciting island so far. What are your comments, Tom?
Yeah, it's not like Ireland.
The roads are wider,
Yeah.
and they drive on the right.
34 miles to Charlottetown.
And there's a little sun showing in the upper left-hand corner.
That's right. Okay. Good morning.
9:42,
We have just left the hotel in Charlottetown, right? And believe it or not, the old man is now driving. There is the old man, and he's trying to drive. Say good morning, old man.
Good morning, old man.
There, good morning, old man. Okay. And we are now on the way to the empire of our ancestors, Tignish. And you will note that it is raining. And that is why the windshield wipers are going back and forth.
Okay. Now you say this is a painting by Alma Biot?
Yeah, she was born in Tignish in 1894 and died in 1966. Her father and grandfather were the founders of the French newspaper in Tignish, Gilbert Biot, and her father was François Joseph. This is a little...
Any idea where? Was this
No, but
probably extant?
It might have been around Tignish.
Uh-huh.
It might have been around Tignish. Dating from about 1914.
Hmm.
1914.
Yeah. The people who it was the first one I bought. The people who owned it even took the frame off it.
Do you mind if I ask you what you paid for that?
$75.
Oh dear, isn't that wonderful?
$75.
Good for you.
Henry, may I ask you to introduce yourself?
My name is Joseph Henri Godet, Tignish, curator of the Tignish Museum and organist in the church here on a famous tracker action organ, which is 108 years old.
Hmm.
And I'm doing research on Acadian families, Tignish, including the Biot. Yeah, it's too bad I don't have my extension cord here, so that I could light.
No, that's
I could light it up, and there's my phone.
1931, huh?
Yeah, it's dated.
Wonderful.
Hello? There's a date inside of this.
Mhm.
Nicolaus Amatus, featured in Cremona, Italy. And the date is 16 something.
Now you say this is Alma's grandfather's violin?
Gilbert Biot's, Alma's grandfather's violin.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Wow.
I bought it for $30 from her third cousin who wanted to have a drink one night. So he had his liquor, I still got the violin.
His hangover didn't even last, huh?
Here's another Alma Biot painting.
Uh-huh.
She's beautiful,
I've
whoever
got
she
new
is.
frames for it. These two candlesticks belong to Alma Biot. These wooden candlesticks. Am I going too fast?
Not at all.
New $1.5 million Acadian Museum when it opens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on
Is it being built?
Yeah, it's being built now. I'm on the committee and I think I may will it to them, providing it's restored and there's a plate to go with it. It's an Acadian lady making lace. It looks like Whistler's mother, the American artist. And it's dated A.B.I. 1914.
Hmm.
It suffered from a damp basement.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I had it on Mountain TV. It was photographed for a book cover in France on lace making. But the photograph was rejected
Oh.
because it wasn't done professionally and there was They were very, very fussy about
You
it.
should have sent it to me. We would have done it for you.
But I sent the history of Alma Bial's life along with it, and they have it.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Which there and
These two.
these two.
Yeah. And there's another one there.
It appears she had quite a sense of humor.
Pardon me.
I like that one.
Yeah. That one first prize in Montreal and Halifax.
Ah.
Yeah.
And what was the other one you pointed to, Henry?
Called Mischief.
This one down here, Dad.
This one looks Dutch.
Uh-huh.
It does, doesn't it?
It looks like, and Mischief looks like a Rembrandt, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
All in browns. I got that one from one of my aunts for nothing.
Wasn't that?
She sold it to my aunt in 1914, I think, for $18, I think it was.
Hmm. Hmm. Wonderful.
Sure, it's on all of them. 3 of them there. And I have some more, although I didn't make my bed come on in. She was a commercial artist in New York.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask.
She did the clothing.
She made her career as an artist.
Yeah. So you have this little girl with a toy duck, signed by Biot, and there are 2 others over here. Here's another one. You see the children's clothing?
Yeah.
Isn't it pretty though?
Yeah. It's very nice.
And here's an adult one. No frames. I bought frames for these.
So
Cost me a mint.
she made her money as her living as a fashion.
Yeah,
painter,
they
right?
were just loose, eh?
Uh-huh.
Well, probably these are probably, as you were saying, she's probably a commercial artist, and that she would probably be given the design by the fashion designer and told to translate it into a drawing.
Yeah.
That's possible.
And so, I mean, it'd be much like an illustrator. The illustrators that work for me in advertising, it's the equivalent.
Uh-huh.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Here's another one.
Hmm.
What's above is what I got in France at
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame Cathedral.
Oops.
But I have
Very nice, though.
Oh boy.
I'd say you're really pleased.
I have quite a few others. I'm going to show you in here that are in volumes, eh?
Uh-huh.
When I say 100, all this stuff is by Alma.
Wow.
She did all this. Even her first drawings in Tignish are here.
Hmm.
She did portraits, huh?
Mm-hmm.
This is Alma there.
Oh.
That's Alma there on the right.
Now if I can only get this doggone thing to focus.
And this was published in Tignish.
F.J. Biot.
FJB. François Joseph was her father.
Hmm. Oh, look.
All these are by Alma. These are going to the dump. They're all sketches. She wrote a little book on foxes that was meant to go to the publisher.
Look, PEI.
She did all this in pencil. She wrote the text.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't complete it. I've been thinking of having it published the way it is, and the money could go to the Tignish Museum, eh? Look, that's all her text.
Nice.
This is where the French newspaper was published in Tignish, and she did this as a child.
Mm-hmm.
That building is still standing in Tignish. It's a private home now. Here are her first drawings in Tignish, marked by the sister, where she took lessons at the convent.
Good point.
Her first sketches in Tignish.
My golly.
Look at good.
Yeah. These are all hers. I had most of that in Moncton. Look what she did in New York. Hats, ladies' fashions, dress scarves, all loose in the trunk.
Just sitting there.
Mildewing in the trunk. She designed all this for her father's newspaper. She drew all the drawings around it. Advertising. See, there too. She did greeting cards.
You know, you're not going to believe this. You know what I wrote?
No.
I wrote a kid's book about a year ago. Got it published. Sue the Two-Headed Rouen U, and I stole it entirely from Dr. Zeus.
Oh my God.
You do wonder, though. You wonder where. I've always wondered.
Let me find you something you maybe.
I've always wondered.
There, there's a nice picture.
Oh boy.
Isn't that cute?
That. Yeah, isn't that nice?
See, she was designing this for books.
Yeah.
Like the storybooks. And this one goes with it. I should have these framed.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what you should consider doing?
I have enough to fill a gallery.
You do.
Read yet. It's in here somewhere.
What's the play called?
I believe it's Bushborn.
Bushborn?
Yeah, I'll tell you right away. I haven't read it yet. Alma Biot's play. Property of Jean-Henri Godet. You know how I got a lot of this stuff? Her third cousin was always out of money. If you're looking around, where's Henry today?
Yeah.
I need to get some lumber for the house. I didn't see me. Would you like to buy this painting?
Sure.
I said, is this the end of it? Yes. Then 3 days after, no, I found another painting. Bushborn by Alma Biot. 3 West 46th, New York City. Bushborn.
Can I look at it for just a second?
She wrote a play.
You know what? I've gone to school forever, Henry. And one of my first...
Look at this, blocking of Main Street controversy, 1981. I'm always into
my first degree is BA in theater.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which is weird. This is weird.
It's dated 1767. Found it in the warehouse of an old store which has now been destroyed.
This is not a play. This is a novel.
It is.
Yes.
It's the start of a novel.
Did I say a play?
It's a short story.
Oh yes.
Interesting though. 21. She never finished it.
I don't think, no. She was quite a talented person.
Boy, was she. Multi-talented.
Yeah. I don't know if I have it in this book or not, but it shows a menu. When she put on she had a meal. These are some of her catalogs. That's a catalog of hers. Depression menu, Depression dinner. This year of Hoover's exit, AD 1932. The year I was born. She made up a menu for her guests at the house.
What year was it?
1932. And the menu is all here, mind you. All artistically arranged. The menu, hors d'oeuvre à la Curtis et combien. Antipasta à la Tommaso. Cocktail communiste. Roast chicken à la canadienne. Solide et bien bâti. Solid and well built. Here's something which... Oh yeah. Salad à la Roosevelt. What is it? Jack's? It looks promising rather.
How old would she have been at that time?
She was born in 1894. and died in 1966.
So,
And this is 1932.
so she would have been just
I'm not
38 years old.
38? She was in her heyday.
Oh, I'll bet.
She'd be in her heyday. Yeah. This is called Sylvie the Silver Fox.
Huh. Fantastic. There we go, record. Okay, you say she's working on a charitable event called Eyes for the Needy.
A charitable organization
Okay.
in New York City called Eyes for the Needy. During the Second World War, they were collecting old glasses. Maybe she's helping this guy to find a pair of glasses or something. That's one of her commercial art things. And behind you have 4 of her this is from her catalog. You could order Christmas cards hand painted by her. And these are
God's
2.
sakes, any way to make a buck, that's great.
and that's 2 of them. That's another one there. This young girl with a kitten is by her. I got some more in the basement here that
I'll be darned.
are more interesting. Yeah, I neglected to show these to you.
I wonder what our relationship to her would be, if any existed.
Oh, well, there would be some. You could find out whenever you get that information.
Yeah.
These are by her. These 2 little silhouettes. And these 2 also.
I mean,
Look, some howl at the moon, others make millions.
I mean, that's the thing, Dad. There has to be a relationship. Since there was a single Viot, since Pierre
Oh
Viot,
yeah, there have to be.
there is a relationship.
There would have to be.
Amazing.
As a match set. All this was loose in the trunk. And I have a couple more here. Look at this one. Nice signature of hers. 1941. Christmas scene. Pen and ink.
Beautiful.
Isn't that nice?
Sorry, Tom.
This is a local shore here. Kildare, Capes. And she made her own verses.
I was going to say, here.
Yeah.
A speck of green in the restless sea, its edge girt round with red, fanned by the sea breeze wandering free, a clear blue sky o'erhead. A greeting from PEI. By Ms. Viot.
Now this little house belongs to Henry Goudy. The woman at the bank said we should talk to Henry, and when she pronounced it I thought she was saying Henry Gooding, but his name is Goudet, G-A-U-D-E-T. And Henry is a history teacher. If I remember correctly, he's probably around 58 years old. And he ran the museum for quite a while, and he knows all the history of Picnic and Prince Edward Island. He gave us all the information we could possibly ask for, plus addresses where we could get more. Okay, now after visiting Mr. Goudet, at his recommendation we came up here to the North Cape. We're on the very north tip of Prince Edward Island. Here's the North Cape light. North Cape radio tower, I don't know who uses that and for what. This little building is a tourist center downstairs and a restaurant upstairs. It's called the Wind and Reef Restaurant. Now we just had lunch here. Well, I've been out of focus all this time. And we just had lunch here and it was excellent. And there's a view right out over the water there. There's Tom taking pictures of the picture taker. That surf you see over his right shoulder, the spit of land that goes out there. And to the right of that spit of land, there's quite a few seals frolicking in the water that we could see now and again. Where'd he go? There was a fishing boat out here actively fishing. There we go. Off to the right here, I guess it's to the west, is, let's see, what is it called? Atlantic Wind Test Site. And apparently, according to Henry, they brought some wind generators actually from California to test them out here. I can't imagine why they'd want to leave the Altamont to test them here, because you know, we got enough wind of our own back there. But in any case, that building seems to contain the headquarters for this place. Just to the right of the power line, you can see one of these, I don't know what they're called, funny type generators with one vane missing. Move over here to the left, there's a smaller propeller-driven one, and two more of these, I don't know what you can call those darn things. One interesting point is you'll notice that the building is surrounded almost completely surrounded on three sides by earth. They pile the turf up almost to the roof line, and apparently simply for protection from the elements. Okay. Now the camera was working fine for a little while there. All of a sudden it decided to go into a fit again. There's his nibs walking the shoreline. A lobster trap that's washed up on shore. And here's another one. You see here and there, you'll see a little bit of wreckage of lobster traps. There's the remains of a little sea urchin lying on the shore. Just happened to notice it laying upside down, and I picked it right side up. Yeah, I don't know if the color of the water is apparent, but in many places it's sort of a reddish brown. The soil of this island seems to be mostly pulverized red sandstone, and the water close inshore seems to have a lot of that sandstone in suspension. So when you're right up close to the shore for the first 30 or 40 feet out, the water isn't very clear. And once you get out further, the water turns a beautiful, clear, dark, greenish blue, I guess you'd call it. Beautiful. Just a second ago, I saw a seal out there on the surface, and now the son of a gun won't surface. Oops. Screw around this darn thing. Ah, there he is, right there. I don't know if you can see him or not. That is a seal bobbing on the surface. He's gone fishing again.
For the lens.
Yeah. Here's an example of the red sandstone that the island is composed of. And this is a bank up from the beach. I have no idea what causes those little teeny tunnels or holes. They're only about 2.5, 3 inches in diameter. And there you see the top of the bank. As I pan left, you see my handsome son. There we go. And here's the bank, followed by the shale beach, gravel beach, and on into the water. Okay, one last view of the North Cape Light. The restaurant building and the wind farm. Well, this is where we're spending the night. We spent, let's see, first I'll explain what night it is. What night is it? It's Monday night. Yeah. The 1st, October the 1st. And anyhow, this is our second night here. We spent last night here in this motel. And there it is. Pretty nice building. And that door that's ajar, that's our room. And that's our car. Tom just walked up the street to get a pizza. We got a gas station right next to us, and a wonderful sunset tonight. Started out raining this morning, but it's been beautiful this afternoon.
Through the man's
me.
Hydro officials say Earth's
Look at all the birds.
Was unable to play its role as conductor.
Isn't that
and
something?
prevented the current from a faulty transformer being grounded.
Ah,
Postal
damn it.
says
We're
compliance
east of Charlottetown.
has been effective.
I don't know what that little lake is. Actually, it's probably a bay or an
Looking at the
inlet.
weather for central Nova Scotia today.
And we're stopped
mostly
at some
sunny
road
this morning,
construction. We happen to
becoming
notice
cloudy
this.
afternoon with a
Beautiful.
few showers by late.
Okay, I take it back. Those are not birds. Those are lobster pots. At least we think they're lobster pots. They're all in a definite pattern. And there's more over here. Much more widely spread here. What is it? It's Tuesday morning, and we're working our way, I think we're northeast bound, working our way towards the very east end of the island called East End, where it was in Maine. This gives you an idea of what you're looking at. You're sort of like a sparsely settled New England town. Couple of farms out towards East Point. They call it East End. I'm sorry, it's East Point. And we're almost there. And we're just west of East Point, and there's a ship offshore. We can't figure out what it is. It doesn't look like a ferry. And we can't figure out where it would be coming from.
Or going to.
Yeah. Very interesting. Finally made it to East Point. Let's see. How's that? Now beyond the lighthouse, you can see land. Huh. I can see it. I don't know if you can see it. Anyhow, if you look just to the right of that small building, you can see a dark shape on the horizon, and I believe those are the Breton Islands. Now I'm looking to the north, I think, and you can see another ferry coming back. I believe that ferry is going. There's a group of islands due north of Prince Edward Island. They all have French names, and I can't pronounce them, so I won't even try it this time.
That's pretty, isn't it? The lighthouse there? See it?
The lighthouse? I got the lighthouse, and we're approaching, I think we're approaching the city of Soucy, S-O-U-S-I.
Which is one of the oldest little towns on the island.
Right.
Right?
That, whoops, sign there, 50. That's 50 kilometers per hour. and we just we partake of tourist ignorance and we drive 50 miles per hour, 60. Speeding upon speeding. And here we are, Souris. That's the name of the town, not Susie. If it sounds French, I'll try to muffle you with it.
Now see the barn here, Dad?
Alright, let's see. Find a button. Find a button, Bill. Damn it, find a button. This one? No, this one. There. Tom is fascinated by those little sort of cupolas that stick out on the end of the barns, like that there. And a couple of days ago, he saw these. Built into the side or the ends of a house. Let's see, we're taking the Northumberland Ferry from Wood Island, Prince Edward Island, to
Caribou? No.
Caribou,
Nova Scotia. That's right. Yeah. And this is the ferry. How exciting! And that's lousy light.
Yeah, the moment that's it.
There. That's a little better, I think.
Oh, we need the floating things.
And there's a guy. And I will pan out here. While Dad drives us into the boat. Pan out here. Show everybody.
Thank you.
And we're getting on the boat. And I've managed to turn on the time with the little red light at the bottom.
So you push. I think this is one of those two.
Oh, one of those two, it says. There, it's now off.
Now we go through the tunnel. Don't make it light so much bright.
Okay.
Take a look at the smokes.
Jesus. And then we go, and we're going to run into this fellow right in front of us. Wave to the thing, Tom.
Okay, now we're on a ferry boat. Should be pulling out of dock very shortly here. The Wood Islands at Enverage. He finally made it. Okay, here we are, last picture of Prince Edward Island. Now we're northbound towards Nova Scotia. We've been underway for about 40 minutes. Probably have another 20 or 30 minutes to go. And on the boat, we have a guest. Tiny Tim. He looks old, and I think he's on his way to an engagement. Now we're approaching Nova Scotia. Okay, and here we are arriving in Nova Scotia. Let's see if they do a better job than they do in Puget Sound. And I gotta run and get in the car real quick.
Okay, there's the ham that Dad met and talked to forever. And there's still this funny little red spot. It's real bright.
That's it. That means it's recording.
Oh. There you go. That should be better. All right. We are now moving off of the ferry
into Caribou. Nova Scotia,
Nova Scotia, here we are.
New Scotland. Oh, look. Much warmer down here. We've moved south 27 miles.
And there's welcome to Nova Scotia.
And see, we're now northwest bound on Route 2, approaching Moncton, I believe. And the plan is to drive to the vicinity of St. John and spend the night down there.
We want to get off in Moncton?
Oh, I don't particularly, unless you do. We spent the night in Amherst last night, and it rained cats and dogs for a good part of the while. Now it seems to have cleared up perfectly. And they're forecasting showers later on this afternoon. A series of small fronts that just seem to be sweeping you through here, one right after the other. There's a little bit of show of color. You'll have to pardon the noise in here. We're driving about 70 miles an hour almost, and we've got about a 40 or 50 mile an hour headwind. So the air noise is pretty loud in this car. Trying to pick up a touch of the fall colors out here. Seem to be getting more and more of it. The temperature's been approaching freezing every morning, or the last couple of mornings anyhow. So I think we're going to see more and more of this kind of weather. And let's see if I can get a little darker here. Oh, that's better.
And to your left also.
See, we're south of Moncton, between Moncton and
Just your
St.
left,
John. That radio station is French. All the announcements are in French. There we go. Now we pulled off the main highway and we're heading south towards the Bay of Fundy. Could that be part of it there? Or just a lake, I guess. We just thought we'd do a little sightseeing on our way into St. John. I'm trying to get a picture of a satellite dish. There are quite a few satellite dishes up here. But what fascinates me is the satellites are aimed just a few degrees above the horizon. I guess we're quite a bit north of the satellite itself, eh?
Mining over there.
In the middle of nowhere, we come across a deal like this.
And that's definitely
Apparently, some sort of a mine. there's a hillside of color. Isn't that pretty? It seems as we go south, it gets better and better. We can't quite figure that out.
Must be more maple trees down here.
Yeah, that must be it.
Right on your left, I think it's nice too. Luck. Yeah, you're gonna get some right here. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, is that pretty?
And forward of you. Oh, that's nice down there.
Okay. If the light isn't quite right, I apologize. If I let it go to automatic, it goes to full bright. It completely whites out. The next step is I'm running it at 2,000th of a second. And I had it in nothing before. Now I've got it in sunlight. Let me go to... Oh, there we go. Yeah. This is much better. All right.
We are arretting anyway.
Pardon?
We are arretting. Thanks for stopping.
Oh, we. I'll try to remember to run it in sunlight at 2,000th of a second. As I said, if you run it in automatic, the thing just goes crazy and becomes completely whited out.
Well, that's pretty. That's quite a bit. There's your satellite dish, Dad.
Yeah, now this satellite dish is aimed, I'd say, what, 20 or 30 degrees above the horizon. Most of them are aimed almost flat with the horizon. So this one is an exception. I don't know, maybe they've got two different satellites they aim at around here. There's a lot of color. Reflections too.
Pool is what this is called.
All of a sudden, a one-lane bridge in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, and this is pretty. Left and right are pretty.
Driving over a little river. Pretty. What you can see through the bridge. I'm afraid I'm going to look up here and see this huge truck coming at 80 miles an hour. And we now get to follow this tour bus for a while. So we must be doing something right. Actually, that's not the ocean. I don't think that's the Bay of Fundy. More unobstructed view.
Wow. There's a little tiny hill.
Here is a hill. Whee! past the turnoff to St. Martin. It's one of the hundreds of churches we've seen so far. So, another little church.
Bangs.
Here comes another church. I'm not going to show you every church in New Brunswick, just wanted to give you... And we're getting closer and closer to St. John's.
And the wind is blowing.
Yeah.
Oh, that is pretty. Dad, there's a C-141 looks like right up here. No, it's not.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's found an airplane. All I have to do is find him. Forget it.
Well, John Airport.
My God, we've discovered St. John Airport. Okay, we're back in St. John, New Brunswick. And this is the site of the reversing falls. Wouldn't you know it, we'd hit right at the tide coming in. Although the tide is coming in a lot faster than it was when we were here last week. Just to my left here is a pulp mill. Let me change this. There we go. That's a pulp mill. And fortunately this camera can't smell. It really stinks. It's sort of sickening. Once again, there's the water. And there's a little sign. For us dummies to tell us which way's up. For the heck of it, that's the PEI flag. And I think that's the New Brunswick flag. And I think the Nova Scotia flag is blue and white, but I don't know which one it is. Alrighty, let's see.
Hello?
We're now all set for the night. We checked into the Keddy Motel. We tried a couple other places that were full. We're in St. John. There's St. John Harbor, I guess. And the St. John River winds around to our right. You can just barely see it. And the reversing falls are up there. So we'll be going up there in a few minutes to see if we can show you the falls coming the other way, or going the other way, or whatever falls do. Let's see, there's the Canadian Coast Guard installation here in St. John. That's downtown St. John. And let's see, up here on the hill to our left is some sort of a fort and park or some darn thing, so we'll probably take a run up there in a little while and give you the view from on top of the hill, and then we'll go to the reversing falls and show you the reversing falls. Okay, here we are about 4 hours later, and now you can see the river's running the other way. And actually, I think we have about an hour and 20 minutes before full low tide. Well, there's my nutty son. Gotta figure out how to get a better picture.
No, but 36.
I've walked down the bottom now, and you might get a better idea of what this is like. I don't think I'd like to try swimming out there. I'll try to show you something here. The water seems to be getting higher on that rock. A little while ago, the land this side of the rock, oh, there it's going down again. Oops, now it's going up again. Anyhow, the land between those two rocks was awash. You could see bottom. We were thinking that was how fast the tide was going out, but apparently, oops, there's the bottom visible again. It's dry again, Tom.
Oh yeah, there you are.
Yeah. So apparently there's a huge swell in the river or something. Oh, here it comes again. Isn't that odd? It's amazing the wave action that we get in places. And it changes, it's not constant. That one whirlpool just
Look
keeps
at that
moving
whirlpool,
along.
Dad.
The
Wow.
one that's moving along, yeah.
Yeah.
Swim faster. Well, now it's a little after 5 p.m. local. And let's see, yeah, low tide is supposed to be in about 30 or 35 minutes. But it seems to be getting down there pretty well. Really not a waterfall, and more of a rapids than a waterfall, isn't it? There's a waterfall.
Hold on. Let's experiment a little bit here. I may get
Right? Tom did a bit of experimenting here, and he discovered this spot. Not get it yet. There's what I was looking for. He discovered this spot on the upstream side of the falls. And this is the falls. That, of course, is the paper mill or the pulp mill. There's the bridge we just came across. And to take the view earlier, you can see those flags fluttering up in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. that's where the observation platform is, and we were up there looking from the other side of the bridge. Let me play with the light a little bit. There, about there. It's a little better, I hope. Anyhow, lots of water, and this is all flowing into the Bay of Fundy. That's just lots and lots of water. And this is a rapid. Well, we're just across the river from the pulp mill. Haven't moved any, but here's a little rapid between the mainland and an island, or a couple of islands offshore. There we go. Now you see where we were before. Now, of course, over there's all the junk being dumped into the water. Oh, there's Keddy's. That's where we're staying tonight. Looks more like a hospital. Saying it looks more like a hospital than a hotel.
It's not so bad, though.
And we never did go up on the top of the hill where the monument is. Couldn't figure out how to get there.
Give it a miss.
Welcome to Keddy's, home away from home.
Well, it's not a very good morning. It is October 4th, and this is Tom, and I find that I am now alone in the hotel room in St. John, New Brunswick. Looked like Dad just had maybe a mild heart attack, which isn't a particularly propitious end to our stay in the Maritime Islands. However, I just thought I should continue with the commentary. It's a beautiful day this morning, nothing else. Not much traffic out. I'm going to wander over and pick up Dad, I hope, or go see him and see what the hell is going on. And I hope to be able to pop him out of there shortly. But I'll continue the commentary all the way until we finish this trip.
Okay, there's the hospital if you can see it. Yeah, that's it. You can see it's certainly not a little building.
I'll go this way.
Let's see, it's, what the heck is this? Tuesday morning, and we've just checked out of the hotel and we're going to head down towards Maine today.
Welcome back, Dad. Yay!
So this is where I spent my time for the past 5 nights. Beautiful, beautiful installation. And I don't know if this is the front or the back, but
This is now the back. The front was, you really couldn't get to the front. Let me go around it?
yeah. Well, where was I? Where's St. John's track?
Okay, I'll take you over there. I think we can go over there. The problem is that you can't get up.
Yeah. Now
Because
these buildings you see right up here are New Brunswick University, the St. John's branch. And they're directly behind the hospital, and I was up there someplace looking in this direction.
You were
Let's see, I was
were
in there.
in the far right-hand
Tower they call
over
them,
there.
Yeah.
And
So,
he was on the top floor.
All right, so right there and on the top floor.
And on the top floor to the left, in the left-hand window. That's where he was.
The left window as you face this wall.
And now I'm going to go around the loop here.
Okay. Anyhow, that was ICU, and then they moved me down here to the what they call step-down rooms. Wonderful. Now you know what a hospital looks like. Okay, we're just coming down to the river.
And there's a real nice harbor club on your...
Okay. And there is the name of the river. If
I gotta write that down. Oh no, I don't. I got a map.
okay. And that's the yacht club. and you can just see the tips of the masts
Well, let's bring you down here further.
from the hospital.
We're going to see if this thing is waterproof.
Right, and if the brakes fail,
dead.
we go swimming.
You're getting some.
Coming up from the river, there's one last look at the hospital. St. John Regional Hospital. My home for 5 nights, home away from home. Gives you an idea that the city of St. John, although it's old, its history goes back to 1700 and something, I think. It's a modern city. They take good care of it. You don't see a bunch of rickety old buildings and things falling down. They seem very proud of it.
And they make good coffee here.
And let's see, Cliff, my roommate in the hospital, when the food cart would go by, he'd say, "Here comes the garbage truck." And he was about right. The hospital food was definitely not the best. It was edible. But of course, when you're hungry enough, leave the rest of that unsaid. Okay. We don't have the slightest idea where we are. We're on Route 9 in Maine, on our way from the St. Stephen's, New Brunswick, toward Bangor.
I think we're about 5 miles north of Bangor.
Yeah. Anyhow, we just came across this pretty river on our right, and we pulled over to try to get a quick peek.
I had known this guy for a week.
Yeah.
And I said, what the hell's going on? Bangor. We're here. There's Bangor. Here, are you getting hungry?
Yeah, you know, I hadn't even given it a thought, but it might be a good idea.
I wouldn't mind a
I'm
sandwich.
trying to figure out if, yeah, okay.
Let's get on the other side of Bangor and we'll look for a place.
Okay, anytime, whatever you say.
Look for a truck stop or something.
I don't know, I feel like, yeah, that's probably the best. There, I finally got it to 2,000th of a second. And I'm sorry I've been having light struck up till now. My apologies. I'm out of practice. This has been a 2-lane road just like this all along. Not 30 miles an hour by any means, but it's been a very pleasant country drive.
Lots of color on the trees.
Where are we? We're about 70 miles north of Portland, Maine. We just stopped in a little town of Watsonville, Maine, and might be. We cheated and had another little order of clams between us. Delicious. You sure know how to grow them up here. Okay, we've just entered the little town of Saco, where the locals meet people and greet them. we decided to get off the interstate. We're just south of Portland. Well, we are south of Portland, right? Yeah. So we're going to get over on Route 1 and go down the coast, and we decided we'd like to stay at a nice motel in a little town rather than a little motel in a big town. Anyhow, this is Saco, Maine. We're south of Portland and we're north of Kennebunkport. And we're thinking we might go down as far as Kennebunkport and do a little looking around and exploring. Anyhow, a very picturesque town, as are all of these down east towns.
It's a nice church.
See you later. This is an early century mill, and they're revitalizing it or some darn thing, and they're going to make it I guess a big shopping center or something. It's really, it must have been one heck of a big mill at one time.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, there you go. The mall. Yeah. Okay, where are we? Let's see. I think we're just south of York, Maine.
We're still in Maine.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, the automatic seems to be working, so we'll take advantage of it for as long as it works.
See this factory store thing? There are all sorts of outlets here where they sell factory direct at reduced prices.
Right.
Or so they say.
And let's see, we got off I-95. We spent the night in Kennebunk last night. Stayed in an Econo Lodge. Very nice place to stay.
We asked George Bush if he'd take us in, but he wouldn't.
Yeah. He was busy trying to work on some sort of a budget or some damn thing like that. You'd think by now he could figure out that. Anyhow, spent the night in Kennebunk, had breakfast this morning, packed up, damn near got everything in the suitcase, and now we're on our way down to Boston. Final day. We viewed this tape last night up to this point. There was one thing Tommy said when he was playing photographer there in the hotel room. He said that I had a heart attack. Well, at the time I sure thought it was, but it turned out I did not have a heart attack. So some sort of an arrhythmia problem. And it's what the heck time is it? It's 10:30 here, and both of us have trips leaving at 5:30, 6 o'clock this evening, and we've got 50 miles to go to Boston, so we're just going to take our time and work our way down there. And maybe we'll stop at Portsmouth Navy Yard or some darn thing. This is probably the worst weather we've had since we started the trip.
Yeah, that's true.
And we haven't been able to complain about the weather at all up to now. Alrighty, catch you later. Yeah, okay. Let's see, where are we? Well, uh-oh, there it goes again. Oh, it's back. We're in Kittery.
See, I'll look on both sides and tell you which side to look on.
I think I better take it out automatic and go to the...
The other side's better on your left.
Okay.
Ooh, and look at the oh, nice. Oh yeah. Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
All right.
We're in Portsmouth.
And I'm back in manual. Sorry about the lighting problem. So now we're in autofocus and manual lighting, 2/50th of a second.
Let's find out how to get to the Navy Yard.
Yeah, okay.
It said stop. It said stop? Didn't say stop? No?
I didn't see a stop sign.
I saw one.
Looks like a cute little town. Really was impressed with Kennebunk. Sort of nice up there. This is a city. Rather small. Okay, we're still fooling around here. We're down by I think it was the Salmon River or some darn thing like that. And
He's coming right on that corner here.
we're going to visit the Albacore. So one of the original, there it is, fleet, it's not a fleet type sub, it was the first submarine built to be a submarine, how do I explain that? Submarines used to be surface vessels that occasionally submerged. This was built to be a boat that stayed underwater all the time and occasionally operated on the surface. So it was efficient underwater and sort of clumsy on the surface.
Is that right?
Yep. I read that somewhere. There you are. We're looking at a submarine and listening to traffic noise as usual. Yeah, this is the Albacore, ashore at Portsmouth. They dug a channel, brought it ashore, and then made a dry dock out of the place. Okay, we are not completely lost. Here we are in the great city of Boston, in the daily traffic jam. And anyhow, the weather is cruddy here in Boston. In fact, the weather's been cruddy all day, hasn't it? Well, at least we're getting there.
Here's a...
The trip's due out in 5 minutes. It's 5:25 now. And they just made an announcement saying they might be a little late. They haven't even started boarding. Nice to see that somebody else has chaos at the gate.
well,